Welcome to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Geek Matrix. It is episode 295, covering the week of May 20th. I am here with me, as always, usually, is Rob, down there, way down there. Brandon is over here. I don't know what fucking direction I'm pointing, but we're all here today. That makes me happy. And we're here to talk comics, and hopefully you're there to listen to them. The comics we're getting into today are Deathstroke, Terminator number 3, Nightwing number 138, New Titans number 35, Absolute Flash number 15, and Absolute Green Arrow number 1. And those that didn't quite make the show but did still come out this week are End of Life number 4, Siren Loves Hurts number 4, which I'm continuing to enjoy that series, Catwoman number 87. I haven't read this issue yet, but the series has been getting good. Superman Unlimited number 13, haven't gotten here yet. Batwoman number 3, same fate. Wonder Woman, yeah, right. Lobo goes to the therapist. And Batman Superman World's Finest number 51. That is this week in DC Comics. What was your week like, guys?
Quiet.
Busy.
Quiet.
But, same as usual.
Are you noticing, or see, before Brandon was aware that Rob fractured his finger, he commented on how Lex Luthor-y Rob looks. And then, Rob, would you bring your brace up again, please?
Yeah.
That is Lex Luthor villain, DC Comics villain purple. Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Yep.
I don't know how you have not introduced lime green to that. That is a little disappointing.
I wanted to, but this is the only colors that were available. I mean, no, not the purple. There was no green available. I mean to say, there's a reason green and purple are my top two favorite colors.
Yeah. You're missing letter L somewhere on that cast, and you've got Lex Luthor Corp TM branded casting.
There's an L right there.
There you go.
Nice indeed.
Yeah, close enough.
Well, as per the usual, the only thing that I'm good at is talking and not reading. I'm not great at talking, but regardless, I still do it. Is there any news to cover this week, guys?
There has been a little bit. Brandon, you want to go ahead first?
Sure. I'm not even really sure where to start, to be honest. But I'll start with the one that I found to be the most exciting, as it was totally unexpected. But honestly, it's really refreshing that DC is committing to this stuff. I believe the news came out on Wednesday. But for people, I'm going to say for people who remember, like the book came out 3 years ago, it was last year. For people who remember and enjoyed the recent Batman and Robin Year One maxi series from Mark Waid and Chris Samnee, guess what? This ain't no April Fools. There is going to be a sequel, a continuation of that book with the same creators for another 12 issues, which is incredible. So that means in this world that is often very cruel and horrible, we're getting 24 issues of Chris Samnee, Batman and Robin. So clearly, it can't be all bad. But this is, I was just like, this is such great news. The last thing I would have expected to get a sequel, because that was a complete story. You had a full narrative across 12 issues highlighting an early part in Batman and Robin's career, and it felt like, okay, well, we did that. We had a very sort of nice and good flashback, but to have a continuation that'll pick up exactly where the story left off was very unexpected, but very much welcome. So I'm trying to find when the book comes out. I think it starts in August.
Yeah.
Yes, But yeah, super looking forward to that. And I'm so glad that they're keeping the same team as well, because I feel like Mark Waid and Chris Samney historically have worked together so well, and any more collaborations that we can get from them is always a treat. It's been like 15 years at this point, I think. So let's see, it's Daredevil, Black Widow, Captain America, and now Batman and Robin. And Daredevil was 2011, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
That long? Oh, wait, no, maybe that might have been 2014, I think, is when Chris Samney started drawing it. So 12 years. But even still, oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's been a while.
Do you guys remember if I liked that or not?
I don't think I knew you, so I can't say. And
I don't know.
historically, you haven't read much Marvel, so I'm gonna say you probably.
No. I meant the Mark Waid, Sam Need, fucking Batman.
Batman and Robin.
God.
Well, we didn't talk about it all that much. It kind of became a honorable mention, if memory serves correctly. But
Yeah. I don't even remember if I read it.
yeah, well, yeah, I was reading that all the way to the end. There was no way, like, even if I missed an issue, I was picking that shit up because, like, I have to support a book like that. Chris Samney drawing Batman has literally been, like, pardon my language, a wet dream since 2016. Ever since he started doing those Battober pictures, and it was like, why has this man not drawn it? So this is great. Well, yeah, no, I mean, I went back and looked at some of those old issues because even I'd kind of forgotten that it's just been such a crazy year, and was reminded of how great that series was. So I'm sure they'll knock it out of the park with the sequel.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. What else do we got?
Did you have any others, or do you want me to jump in?
We might have the same things, so I'm not.
Yeah, so you go ahead and I'll fill in whatever I have that you don't.
Well, a bit of a pivot here. The Lantern's second teaser trailer came out. I was very interested to hear your take on that one, because
I need to watch it again.
Oh, really? I was going to say, maybe it's just me reading into it, but it felt very much like we heard the criticism and we're trying to address some of that while we can.
That's pretty much it, but it's not even all the criticism.
Yeah.
Some of it is too late to deal with some of the criticism. But honestly, I'm still looking forward to seeing what the finished product's going to be and what the plot's going to be, and excited to see how it ends and see what it leads to, because James Gunn promised like 3 years ago that it kind of opens the door to the wider mystery in the DC universe.
Yeah,
so I'm very excited to see what that is.
Idea to hand it over to Matt Reeves and Tom King, like.
Oh, no, it's not Matt Reeves. Damon Lindelof.
Matt Reeves, Damon Lindelof, and Tom King.
No,
I don't even think Matt Reeves is
if I'm not
involved
mistaken, Matt Reeves does have a finger in that pie.
Well, he's not one of the writers anyway.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was mostly just the Lindelof and Tom King production.
Lindelof famously has a great record.
Yeah, he's
well, I mean, if you enjoyed the Watchmen show, then yeah, sure. If you
I did enjoy the Watchmen
Lost,
show.
maybe
a good
not.
Vast majority of the people who, I mean, honestly, yeah, he doesn't have a great, fan base. He does while the show's on, and then everybody hates it after.
Yeah, he's one of those people that I wish would speak less in the public eye. I feel like that tends to be a detriment to the products because people are already looking at it in a bit of a jaded view, but that's not really what I wanted to kind of talk about. I just brought it up more so because I wasn't sure if you guys had seen it. To get kind of your take on some of the scenes that we got shown in the trailer.
I know I saw it. I don't
think
remember.
I'm right there with you, Rob, in that I'm still kind of at the very least interested, if not excited. There's a lot to be critical of, but it is only a trailer, so it's hard to form a definitive opinion just yet. I still say it very much looks like True Detective wearing the skin of a Green Lantern, but
and even then it's kind of like very loosely Green Lantern.
Yeah, but again, that's sort of why this trailer felt much more like, okay, it is. I mean, we know it's trying to cater to a more normie audience, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term. But like, there's superhero shit in here. Look, they fly, they make green things. You know,
It's just the concept, and I'm gonna say it. I was intrigued by the thought of a buddy cop, True Detective-esque story with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. And if done the right way, it could be really good. But I feel like they're leaning more towards the True Detective and less on the Lantern side of it. So it's just a True Detective story with a coat of green paint on it.
essentially, yeah.
And that's not what you'd need for a Green Lantern TV show.
Yeah,
Really
I can understand. Well, again, we kind
None
of
of
talked about
us
this
saw
the
this
last
coming.
time, but again, I can understand the limitations of a budget and the whole play it safe narrative of trying to attract a general audience. I still think that's very stupid. Most people can already accept it at this point. Like,
Yeah.
if you're worried that it's going to look quote unquote silly, I would kindly direct your attention to literally any of the recent adaptations of, popular comics. Shit, One Piece is a good example, where
Yeah.
they certainly have not shied away from the sillier elements in order to make it more accessible. People don't care. If you call a show Green Lantern, I think people know what they're getting into. You know what I mean? So I say that to say it'll find its audience regardless of how silly it's perceived. But again, I don't want to go on that rant again. The point is, I think they're trying to. This recent trailer is trying to capture more of the Lantern elements that people would want to see in the show. And I
Yeah.
don't know if that's indicative of what we're going to get for the whole show, or they just wanted to kind of give more to chew on.
Yeah. Just when we did see some alien planets in the trailer, so that's got me intrigued again. So for sure we're not going to be relegated just to Earth the entire 8 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. But if it were up to me, I'm not saying it is. No way it
But
is.
it's
If you're gonna make a Green Lantern show, don't be inspired by a cop show or like a True Detective or True Crime or like God, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Any of those shows. You want to look at like Farscape, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. You want to look at Voyager. You want to look
Yeah.
at
Which I'll say,
Firefly. You want to
you
look
know,
at stuff like that.
yeah, I'll say Deep
Especially
Space
Firefly.
Nine and Firefly definitely were episodic. They could be kind of, well, procedural is not the right word, but you know what I mean. It's not
Yeah.
like they're not like they're going on discontinuous adventures is sort of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I think you could do a sort of procedural for Green Lantern. It lends itself very well for that, but don't set it in the most boring part of the universe. Like,
yeah.
Hal
Middle of
Jordan
nowhere in
and
the West.
Jon Stewart. Yeah, Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart protect an entire sector. That's
Yeah.
well, not endless, but a very large variety of planets that you could
Vast.
choose.
Yeah.
And it's like, do that. That's a
No,
very
we're gonna
it's a
pick
far more
Nowhere
interesting-
Town, Pennsylvania. Or
Yeah,
wherever
like
they are. Like
you have a
Middle of
large
fucking
array of
nowhere, Arizona.
planets. Like, and that's why I think it's I don't know, again, I said I wasn't gonna go on a rant, but here I am. It's like this
it's hard not to.
I know it's hard not to, because I just think of like lost potential, and I'm just thinking like you could have essentially had, and stop me if I'm going too far, but like you could have had basically Star Trek but Green Lantern theme.
Yeah.
Where you could do the whole like we're gonna go to different planets and do allegorical stories and all that shit, but with a lantern coat of paint, and it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And you would have been able to have your cake and eat it too. So you have the sort of realism that people might want that connects to real world themes, while also keeping the fantastic elements that people love about Green Lantern. Like, that would have been the most pimp show ever.
It would have
And
been.
yet, like you said, we're setting it in fucking nowhere, Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
random dusty town that's probably just an LA studio lot.
Yeah. And like you could have practical sets, you can
Yeah.
have, you know, practical costumes as well as some CGI stuff if you're trying to cut costs as well. Um, and you can still have it as like doing your procedural episodic stuff, but still have your long ongoing story
Mm,
that connects everything, like a lot of these classics, like spacefaring sci-fi adventure shows do.
yeah.
They'll have a
I
couple
just
episodes of
yeah.
procedural, and then they'll jump into a season story.
I was thinking about it. It's like I had this whole pitch in my mind of, again, maybe it's total shit. I don't know, but like a show that would have been maybe a little bit more interesting. Where let's say you do want to do, okay, John is the next Lantern to join the Corps, and it's sort of Hal's job to train him. Like what if you had said it rather than having an aged Hal Jordan? Again, no disrespect to Kyle Chandler, but imagine it's like Hal Jordan year 3, and like he's not perfect, but he's kind of knows his shit at this point. And it's like, okay, now we have a newer, younger, slightly upstart Green Lantern that we want you to come in and train, because you've learned your role at this point. You sort of have familiarized yourself with the sector, and the show could just be Hal and John going to various planets across Sector 2814, and it's John learning what it means to be a Lantern, and maybe Hal learning what it means to be a mentor in some capacity. Maybe that's a little bit of a ripoff of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I don't care. If it works, it works. Because as I was thinking about it again, I was just like, that kind of sounds like Clone Wars, where Anakin's training Ahsoka.
Okay, I was gonna say, is John Ahsoka or is John Anakin?
John would be Ahsoka in this allegory, but yeah. Anyway,
throw in a Rizia, you got me sold.
I'm just like that. I don't know. I don't want to say it would have been a more interesting show, but I kind of like, I'd like that idea more. And it kind of fits in with this lived in timeline that James Gunn is going with. And it gives you the opportunity to explore and get out there and, you know, maybe not have Hal retire straight away.
Yeah. So I want to throw a theory at you that I mentioned to Josh last week, and I've been throwing around online, and I know right away, I'll tell you, it's a crackpot theory. There's no way in hell it's true. And I've been told online I should not cook. But I can't help but have this feeling, what if, and a lot of people are thinking that Hal by the end of this is going to retire, or he's going to go full parallax, or he's going to die. John's going to take on the ring. That's kind of lent itself a little bit to the fact that Aaron Pierre has been cast in Man of Tomorrow. Kyle Chandler has not been said to be in anything else yet.
And it's funny that you mentioned Star Wars already.
Wait, I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Finish your.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. So a lot of people think that he's going to go full parallax or die or whatever. I theorize that what if, and despite the fact that this is very clearly, a lot of people think it's a adaptation of Emerald Twilight, I think it's very much an adaptation of Green Lantern 87 versus John Stewart. What if Hal is already dead?
Oh,
and the Hal we see is either a Ring AI training program, and that's why they could only they swapped the ring because the ring needs to whatever, or Hal is like the Spectre, or he is Parallax or whatever.
I see, like a spirit of some kind.
Yeah. What if he's already dead?
That's funny. I thought where you were going with this originally was like not even that he was a Ring AI or maybe a ghost, but almost like an imagined version of Hal Jordan based on John's, you know, sort of fantasy, I guess. Like this is what I imagine Hal Jordan as a mentor would be like, you know?
Yeah. I can see that too.
Interesting. I've not heard that theory before. That is an interesting one.
It's a crackpot theory for sure.
Yeah.
You're not going to hear it anywhere but here.
And never cook again.
No, I never. I mean, let's face it, I will, but it'll always be bad food.
It's not that bad. I think that's an interesting theory, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know how to come up with interesting ones. They never come true. Yeah, we'll have to see. It's just who the fuck knows. So I'm going to throw a question to you guys though. So going into this and knowing what we've seen of the DCU so far, we know Supergirl's coming next, and then Lanterns to follow in August. Supergirl looks like it's pretty much going to tell its own story, adaptation of Woman of Tomorrow. So don't expect much of like the grander story in that movie. But what we've seen so far between Peacemaker and Superman, and I think that's all that's happened so far, right? Not
pretty much.
Commandos.
Suicide Squad, I guess.
Yeah. What would you say is this grand mystery that is going to be uncovered in Lanterns? Knowing your DC lore and knowing what could potentially happen, and keep in mind this phase is titled Gods and Monsters.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think they're being very careful to avoid we're trying to do the Thanos mystery trap, like plant the seed very early and see whether it will grow, if people are invested enough. So there really isn't like a central villain in that sort of way. Like maybe you could say Man of Tomorrow will give us a greater indication of that, but for now it seems mostly like stage setting, giving them sort of individual hurdles to climb before maybe we start teasing a sort of universal villain, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I think maybe they'll get a tease of it in Lanterns. I kind of get the vibe that it was something that'll be more contained to that story and won't maybe leak out into, other DC universe stuff. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't have any theories though.
Fair enough. Josh, you got any ideas?
I think that, the big monster is obviously going to be Brainiac, but we are also leaning into films like Clayface and likely seeing more along those lines. I think the big reveal in Lanterns might be the existence of like the multiverse at scale, and maybe shutting up some of these people who still are complaining about what that other doorway was at the end of Peacemaker.
What, the one that Chris Smith was thrust into?
Right.
Well, that was like a straight adaptation of Salvation Run.
Yeah. Yes, but there's the last time I ever saw any people, but there was still a bunch of people that were fucking fighting about it and everything. So
there's nothing to fight about. I thought it was pretty clear what they were doing.
I did too.
Yeah. But they
do change up stuff. So.
You bring up that portal at the end of Peacemaker as well, and I was going to bring that up too, with that being an adaptation of Salvation Run, at least what it definitely seems to be. If I remember right, and it's been a long time since I've checked that book out, that kind of tied into like Apocalypse and New Gods as well. If I remember, like that planet that all the villains were on was like a New God training ground or something like that, or Apocalypse.
Yeah, I think it was like one of those primer books for maybe not necessarily Final Crisis, but like Countdown, because there's like 2007 or 2008, I think.
Yeah. I can't remember anything other than it being a prison. That's all I can remember. I can't even remember who ran it.
I've been meaning to reread that. I just completely forgot to do that. With that in mind, like I don't want to think that they're going to go straight to Darkseid, but maybe New Gods will be involved at least. Like we've seen monsters. Obviously, we've had the kaiju. Clayface is coming. Lobo is technically a monster. We've yet to have any proper gods.
I still get the feeling, because I've seen people say that like it would be so cool for them to go that route, but they kind of tried that with the Snyder stuff, and I feel like it would be not cheap, but a little bit like again, to run that back. Soon. So I feel like knowing James
New
Gunn,
Gods is like second
friends, obviously.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna pull something a little different. If you were to create a new sort of universal villain, I get the feeling he's going to pick something a little bit more obscure, and I have my theories of what that might be. It's more like my hopes of what that could be. Despero would be an interesting one. I was actually going with the Dominators. I feel like, because
I got really bad.
My crackpot theory is because James Gunn is on record as saying he's such a huge fan of the Justice League International run, but particularly Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis as DC writers,
Yeah.
I was like, well, what would be an event that they could do that's a little
He's
off?
a huge Wally fan.
It's like maybe,
Right.
maybe like kind of offbeat, one that people don't talk about quite as much. The only two I could come up with were Legends, which would involve the New Gods in some capacity, but would be a very different one. And also, I don't know that it would fit the tone of the universe. And Invasion, which I think is just like, you could kind of take your creative liberties with that one, but obviously keep the central villain as the Dominator. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I hope it would be. And maybe selfishly, I want it to be that because DC has not reprinted Invasion in like 15 years. And if James Gunn makes a movie inspired by it, there's going to be 1,500 reprints.
Oh, yeah.
And I need that.
He will make sure.
Very
it happens.
expensive to buy and trade.
The Dominators could be very interesting. That's a
Yeah.
good point. If I could throw out an alternative, maybe even it might be loose. The Dark Stars as an alternative. Something to do with the controllers, at least.
Right.
Not that anything like. I know a lot of people in the Lantern fan community is speculating that is going to be like Blackest Night or Sinestro Corps War, something Lantern coded.
Yeah.
There's a good chance it's not going to be Lantern related at all, which is kind of crazy considering the show is called Lanterns. But if this is supposed to be part of the grander story for the whole universe, there's no reason it needs to be just about Lanterns, right?
Right. Yeah.
I know the controllers and the Dark Stars are Lantern coded, but they've also been their own thing at the same time.
Yeah, I when I was thinking more of it as being connected to the universe, it's more serving as an introduction for Eric Pierre's Jon Stewart and kind of Kyle Chandler's Hal Jordan. That's really its main purpose, and whatever villain it uses, or villains, I guess, because Sinestro will be there too, will really be more again for that story, and maybe they'll pop up in later appearances.
And the thing that really gets me is very early on, shortly after the cast was announced, Garrett Dillahunt, who's just playing like some cowboy rancher with a name whose name I don't fucking remember, posted a picture of him in like a Green Arrow mask and posted a bow and arrow on like Instagram and then deleted it minutes later. And it was never brought up again. And, speculation went fucking wild at that point.
I'm sure.
And this trailer kind of proves, in my opinion, that he's definitely not Ollie, which I'm disappointed at because I think Garrett Dillahunt would play a terrific Oliver Queen.
Yeah, his face is not coming to mind right now, but
once you see a picture, I know that fucking guy. Yeah.
I can see the vision.
Yeah, right. Even with the Van Dyke going on, like it's spot on.
Which at whatever point in the future when a Green Arrow, adaptation happens, please, I'm humbly requesting, give us the Van Dyke beard. That's all I want. Movie could be terrible. I don't care. I just want to see it.
I don't think there's a way the movie could be terrible. I know it's possible. Yeah. I know it's possible, but you have a guy in like a feather cap, a Van Dyke, and a green bow and arrow. Just make it campy.
Yeah.
I guess super serious.
If you're gonna do a shitty version of Green Arrow, then I want a Gotham version of Green Arrow.
We had that for 7
like the Gotham TV show.
Do that again.
That was not the same.
I would say my only thing with Ollie is like, how do you make Ollie endearing, right? We all love I assume, I don't know, but we all love Ollie because there's this history attached to him, and like, he's a loudmouth and he's an asshole, but you love him. And my thing is like, how do you sell that?
And he's a social justice warrior,
right?
Yeah,
and like all of those things can be endearing, but if let's say you met Ollie for the first time and he just started yelling things at you, not talking to you, yelling at you. You wouldn't really
you
like
throw
it.
a paper cup on the ground or something.
Yeah, it's like you kind of think this guy's an asshole. So I'm thinking like, what are the ways that you could, in say a 2-hour film, make Ollie an endearing person without already having the context of years of Green Arrow history.
Yeah, like
I
if
don't
it
have the
was
answer.
me and I knew Oliver Queen, like knew his history as Green Arrow, and he's yelled at me right away, I'd be wondering what the fuck I did wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just not knowing him at all, meeting him for the first time, and he started yelling at me, yeah, I'd be kind of taken aback. And get his face too, like,
Yeah.
what? It was a styrofoam cup. I threw it in the garbage. Fuck off. Like, whatever it could have been. But
And then he's yelling at you about jackbooted politicians and the environment, and you're like, I agree with you, but the fuck, dude, we just met.
Please stop yelling at me. You're scaring the children.
Exactly. So I because I'm like, again, knowing James Gunn like I do, you know, he's my best friend. I get the sense that if you were to do something like that, you'd want it to be authentic. But how? You know?
Maybe
you make it a joke. I don't know.
A little bit. A joke might. That's what I meant by campy a little bit. Like like some of his grander personality traits, crank it up to 11 a little bit. Like you said, make it a joke, but at the same time, you can have your serious Green Arrow mystery and action adventure romp.
I guess I was thinking like in the tone of this universe, like do you go the route of say Guy, where like Guy is a hero, sure, but you know, he's kind of a joke, like a bit of an asshole, but shows up
Guy and Mr. Terrific. Combine those two characters together where you can have a very serious Green Arrow and a very silly Oliver Queen. Yeah.
I think that could work.
Yeah. And even then, like that Mr. Terrific, I forget the actor's name. He's fantastic. But that Mr. Terrific in that movie.
I think is his name.
Yes. Yes. He had some silly moments too.
Yeah.
Right? Push the guy. Oh, goddamn Mr. Terrific. Get the fuck out of my face. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I often think about as well, I've been thinking about a lot more recently, that one cover of Green Lantern and Flash Brave and the Bold with Ollie and Barry yelling.
I knew which one you were talking about.
Fascist pig, hippie freak. That's what I want to see.
That's what I want.
That'd be perfect.
I just want people to accept him. That's it. I don't want it to be like, just like, oh, this guy fucking sucks. And even if they do say that, they still love him. Like, he sucks, but I love him. Not he sucks and I want him to die.
Well, shit. If he's going to show up anywhere, it's got to be in Lantern so Kyle Chandler's Hal Jordan can love him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Are you guys ready to get heartbroken?
Oh, no.
Because, like, I already know who the galactic villain is going to be. Because I, unlike Brandon, actually am best friends with James.
Where are you guys getting James Gunn's number? Shit. Does he live in Illinois with him?
Oh, yeah. No, dude. We're old friends. We're old friends.
I'm related to Bill Murray. He knows everybody.
You didn't know this, but I was actually an extra in Super.
He was that guy that was reading the newspaper.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell if you were like genuinely thinking about it for a moment. Like, who was he? I don't know.
No, but so he is a major fan of Wally West, and he said Wally West was in a story where I think that he was done wrong, and I'm gonna do it right. So the major multiverse villain that we are about to get is Tempest Fuginaut.
That's
that'll
too big for. I like that story. I like Tempest Fuginaut. I think that was a very interesting cosmic imbalance thing that could have been explored a lot better. But that is too out there for general audiences.
Yeah, I would say you can keep your Watcher ripoff. And maybe go with
There we go. I was expecting the groan. I was going for the groan.
Yeah.
He's like, we're gonna do Heroes in Crisis, but I'm gonna do it right this time.
Oh God.
And we're gonna work it right into him becoming half of Dr.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do Heroes in Crisis right. Nobody dies except Wally.
Hey, you shut your dirty mouth.
I don't even
The
know. if they
only
have
person
enough
that
heroes
dies and
to do
doesn't
those
come back
heroes
is
in
Rainbow
person.
Raider.
That's just mean.
But it's true. Where is he? He's nowhere. Even Condiment King has shown up. We have never seen Rainbow Raiders since.
Oh.
He's the only DC comic character that did not come back from Heroes in Crisis.
Speaking of Condiment King, he's coming up in a book in
Possible?
August.
Didn't he show up in Flash?
Who?
Rainbow
Rainbow
Raider?
Raider? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I think he did. I
I thought
gotta
Condiment
double
King
check,
did
but
for sure.
I think there was a panel where there was that glaive that landed on Earth, the one that was
Oh.
infected by Calypso, and a bunch of villains showed up, and
He was in
one of
Justice
them.
League Unlimited
Yeah.
like 2 months
Oh,
ago.
okay.
Yeah, because
All right.
I remember
Okay.
during the DCKO tournament, and Ace was leading that little squadron on Earth trying to get people safe, and Rainbow Raider was one of the villains that got powered up by Neuron.
Okay.
And that was like
All
the
right.
same
I
time when
completely
Ace was like,
forgot.
I refuse to go down to B-listers.
Sorry, guy.
Yeah, so that's happening. Is there anything else on your list, B?
I don't know if we'll have the time for it, but I was a little shocked to see this today. The DC Comics whatever it is, the DC Comics something whatever month solicits August. I was right. Came out today, which I was a little surprised by because I usually remember them as being like the second Friday of the year, and it's like the third Friday. So
I always remember that on the third Friday.
Maybe I'm slipping with the dates, but yeah, no, those came out in full with quite a few announcements. I won't go through every single one, but there are a couple of highlights. We have our first Batman crossover in many years. They never happen. It's only like once every 10 years. So really rare treat they're giving us here. Although I will say this one is a little bit different. Certainly one that I think one of us is going to be very unhappy about because it is all of his worst fears come to life. Our first Bat-themed crossover in forever is an event going by the name of Batman Bad Seeds, which is going to be co-written by Matt Fraction and G. Willow Wilson, and basically sees Poison Ivy having her revenge on Gotham City to some degree. I didn't look too closely at it. Now, obviously, you did not want this to happen. You were very much adamant that the book be in its own place, and this is literally all of your worst nightmares coming to fruition. But I will say, if there's one saving grace, it's that G. Wilson is writing it and is very involved in the story. So I imagine Ivy, at least in her solo title appearances, will be treated with respect. It's not like Matt Fraction is coming in and he's a boogeyman and he's gonna, fuck up the book. He's not writing those issues. G. Wilson is still writing them, and I imagine with her skill level, she'll be able to weather whatever storm is coming. But I'm believe it or not, I'm not excited for this one, but I'm somewhat interested because a Poison Ivy themed event, as hokey as it seems, is mildly interesting. They've done every single villain since. Like, why not Ivy? I don't think Ivy's ever had a sort of event theme. Like, usually you get an Ivy story, it's 3 issues, 2 issues, something.
Queen Ivy lasted a little bit longer than that.
Well, again, I'm not talking about a solo book. I'm talking about, Queen Ivy was, I think, 3 issues, but anyway.
But even that wasn't like, she was a major part of that story, but the story wasn't about her.
Exactly.
That's another thing, right?
So yeah, my point is seeing her kind of get the focus in this larger, grander crossover story is interesting. And with G. Will Wilson at least helping to spearhead the story, I have somewhat mild hopes for this. So we'll see where it goes.
This is exactly what I didn't want to happen, though.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of had to expect it.
Yeah, I knew it was going to happen, but I really didn't want it to. Yeah. Like I said, when she became mayor, like The book was doing perfectly fine by itself. It did not need to be included in the grander continuity.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to see.
I agree. Still kind of an unconventional choice, but
Like,
I
I
said,
agree with
Hopefully,
what you
it's
said, though, like,
because there's a grander
was not gonna make
picture
this book.
involved.
yeah, I will say a book, and this should maybe assuage any fears of the book getting canceled. A book being tied into a crossover this late in its run makes it feel very safe, like it's not going anywhere soon, which is actually quite surprising because it's shaping up to get to issue 50 soon.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't lead to
I imagine this
45
book is here
dying.
to stay.
Nah, I probably
But,
should.
yeah. Anyway, so that's coming up soon. Like I said, somewhat interesting of a direction they're going in. And then there was one other thing. It's kind of your standard solicits, updates to everything else. Maybe that was it. I am not sure.
Well, there was one set of
There's
solicits
something
I
else.
wanted to shout out.
Yeah, I feel like there's something else. Go for it.
There's a story that isn't really much of a spoiler because you knew it's been coming for like 3 years now. Zod is making his way to planet Earth in August in a 1-month Superbook crossover between Supergirl, Action Comics, Superman, and Superman Unlimited. I can't remember what the story arc is called. It's something before Zod. It's not Neil. Something else before Zod. And his first stop on Earth is the Emerald City of El Caldero, full of kryptonite. Where the 4 books involved in the crossover will all be written by the respective writers, so it's not just one writer doing the whole thing. But it does, like, I'm somewhat interested and excited in it because I've been waiting for this fucking story to happen, and God, what the fuck was I really like Zod. Shit, what was the other reason? Fuck. Maybe that was it. Shit. I know I had a second one. It blanked.
It might come to you.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Yeah, I've just been waiting for the story for a long ass time, so I'm excited for it to happen. Oh yeah, and it feels like a classic 90s Superman style crossover almost. Like some big thing happens and all the books have to get involved for 1 month like they used to do in the Triangle era. Just feels kind of classic. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Your Panic in the Sky, stories like that.
Exactly, right? Hell, Death of Superman. Massive one, right?
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. I think it could be good. It's definitely a possibility.
I hope so. I mean, I still enjoy the Superman book by and large. So my hope is that maybe this crossover will just be another fun addition to this ongoing story.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. That's the only other one I had from the solicits.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, there's something else.
Right. Well, then is that all of the news then?
I just want to shout out my Crackpot Theory V2. How Ed Begley Jr. and Mark Waid suspiciously look a lot alike. I want you to look up a picture of Ed Begley Jr. and Mark Waid, look up a few photos of each, compare them, and get back to me. Just ponder that for a few days.
Actually, I have another Crackpot theory, and I may have shared this before. If you look up pictures of Mark Waid from the 90s, and I got to find it, and you compare them to pictures of George Costanza, who was also in a hit show you may have heard of called Seinfeld in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Note that they look damn near identical, which lends me to my theory that Mark Waid was really lampshading or moonlighting as a actor while also writing various comic books at the same time. Is there a Jason Alexander? I don't know. Maybe he's just an alias.
How did Jason Alexander's hair grow back once he quit being George Costanza? You can't explain this.
I can't.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't know how.
He was bald for 10 years, and then he had hair. Did he go to Turkey?
Perhaps. Maybe he bought one of those wigs. That was
Oh, man. All right. Josh, you got any crackpot theories? Otherwise, I think that's about it.
No, I think that's about all that there is. I never have any news. You guys know that. That's what I depend on you guys. All right. So I do believe it's time to get to the show. At least the books, anyway. Could be doing the show. Sorry, guys. All right. I'm going to take us through the very first book. The first one we're talking about, Deathstroke, the Terminator #3, written by Tony Fleeks with art drawn by Carmine Di Giandomenico. Whoops. There we go. That's right. With colors from Ivan Placencia, lettering from Wes Abbott, and a solo effort on the cover from Di Giandomenico. This was a flashback to when Slade had set up rules for all of the operative assassins to operate under, follow orders. Family is off limits. No freebies or credit, no stealing contracts, and finally, keep secrets. This after both of his sons are dead, or believed to be anyway. It's flashbacks building up to the fact that nothing ever stops Deathstroke. He just keeps going. Throughout the issue-long fight of Deathstroke versus Deadshot and Deathblow, we find out at the very end of it, when it feels like Slade is absolutely going to lose, that everyone thinks that Deathstroke himself is who killed Wintergreen. The mystery of who they were talking about wasn't buried deep in all of that dialogue. It was pretty easy to infer they were talking about Slade. I called it with it being him killed Wintergreen last issue, but I still think it's great. I don't think it would be Jericho or Rose. I think it's Grant. And I'm going to stick with that until I'm proven wrong. But I don't care. This was still fun as hell to read. That's what this series is. It's just fun and a goddamn good story with really solid art being sold hard with that coloring. Really good stuff. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
I think Grant could be a solid theory, but I feel like if you're going for the more obvious telegraphed one, I feel like it's Adeline.
Yeah, I was getting that vibe too.
Because I can't remember. I know it was in issue 2 or 1 where it was brought up, how much Adeline was pissed at Slade and everything. But really, she had that line where, it's like, I wasn't trying to shoot you. I wasn't trying to wound you. I was trying to kill you. And it just felt like, I don't know. It felt
you
like
weren't supposed to feel that. You were supposed to die.
Yeah. So I if I had to guess, I would say it's Adeline. I guess my only question would be why? Why now? Because it's not like, we've seen in previous runs of Deathstroke that obviously they're not best friends, but they kind of worked past some of their frustrations at this point. Or at least I'm thinking back to the Priest run where they had. So I would be interested to see what justification they have for why Addie would suddenly want to go crazy against Deathstroke. Like, what's the point? Maybe it's because he left home too many.
How many fucking times do you expect her to wipe piss off the toilet seat?
Well, I don't know. I ain't married, so I don't know what married life is. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying that it's necessarily a bad thing that it could be Addie. I kind of just want to know why. What was the reasoning behind it? So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of right there with you. I feel like this is like a solid action thriller, maybe is a good way to put it. Like it's super effective. And it's not great, but it's interesting. And exactly. I like how tight it is. And how it's very straight to the point. It's like it's written by a soldier, which is perfect when you're writing about a soldier. So yeah, I don't know. I give this one an 8 out of 10. Like a very solid, very effective. I'm interested. It's got a hook that I think is pretty interesting as well. And I just want to see where this mystery leads, And I hope that it has more gas in the tank when this mystery is solved, because it feels like when that's done, where do we go next? I don't want it to lose that momentum. But yeah, solid.
Yeah, did you give your score?
I give it an 8 out of 10.
8
out of 10.
I'll admit, preface this right away. When I was trying to catch up to my pull list, I was like a month behind. Deathstroke is one of the few titles that I just
You
cut
and me both.
because I started to read issue 2 and was just like, I got so much to read and this feels like a chore right now, so I just cut it until this week when Josh reminded me that we're still covering this book. So I went back and read issue 2, and then I read issue 3, and I'm in love. It's actually a very good book. It's a lot more interesting than I gave it credit for initially. Issue 1 was good, and it was a really good hook, but you really need to get through at least issue 2 to get really drawn into the story. It goes a lot deeper, this rabbit hole so far. My own theory about who this other Deathstroke is, if it is actually another Deathstroke and Slade isn't just going through some level of psychosis or mind control, was actually Grant and Adeline. They were my top 2 choices. So I was kind of borrowing from both of your theories.
There you go.
If it, like Adeline, like you said, Brandon, very telegraphed, and if it is Grant, this could become something like Slade's version of Under the Red Hood, but call it under the orange mask. Right.
Another theory that just came to mind could be Joey. You know, I think Joey was kind of brought up as being the reason that, I mean, obviously that Adeline and Slade were at each other's throats, and how personal it was. But I don't know. I think maybe that's why it's interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think maybe that's why it's interesting is it could be anyone from Slade's family potentially. You know, it could be Rose too, who we saw, you know, earlier.
Well, I was actually just about to say, I think we can all agree it's most likely not Rose.
Really?
I think there's definitely that possibility she could be in the list of suspects, but I think if you're looking at odds, she's the lowest, in my opinion. Anyway, I think at least from that discussion her and Wintergreen had in issue 1, it definitely looks like they're pushing her to be more of like the next Wintergreen for Slade and be his associates, be someone that'll watch out for him and take care of him now that Wintergreen is no longer around, as opposed to somebody that would try to kill him.
Interesting.
I don't know how I feel about that for Rose, but I think considering who Rose is as Ravager could be a very, very interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Because she's not Wintergreen in the slightest.
Very much not.
No.
Very much not.
Yeah. I think if you're looking at odds, and when I'm thinking about the odds of who it could be, I'm thinking about that one like board in Vegas during that Simpsons episode of Who Shot Mr. Burns, and Maggie was like bottom 3 and ended up being her. So like it's Rose. That's probably, I'd say Rose, then Wintergreen, and then like a few other names, and then somewhere up above is like there's Jericho, and then there's shit. Oh my god, his other son's name, I just blanked on it. Grant, and then Adeline.
Yeah. Right? Or honestly, crazy reveal, crazy twist. If it is Wintergreen, you know, could it be that he faked his death and did all of this to bring Slade to his lowest point?
Yeah, that's another thing. Or go even fucking crazier, it's Geoforce again.
Ha.
Yeah, dude, I'm sitting here waiting for you guys to stop talking to say one thing I know is it better not fucking be Geoforce.
Or it's Terra. Or it's
fucking
who else?
Yeah, it's fucking some Markovian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be the fucking general. Jesus.
Swear to God, if it's Prince Markov again. I don't remember his first name. Geoforce's first name. I just
first name Geo, last name Force.
Yeah, Brion Markov.
Brion, that's it. His first name is Prince. His last name is Markov.
His first name is the formerly missed it up.
The formerly known as Brion.
Hero formerly known as
FKA Prince.
Yeah. All right. So that's going to get an 8.75 for me. It's actually really fun. And seeing Deathblow in it as well was really cool. And Deadshot. When I saw Deadshot right away, I'm like, oh shit. I knew he was going to show up eventually, and this is cool. One of my favorite like professional rivalries in comics is Deadshot and Deathstroke.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, no rivalry in the next one, but definitely a brand new mysterious villain. At
No
least
stroking,
we're
a
getting
lot of death.
into it more.
Yeah,
A
well,
lot
if it's
of
a new villain, he didn't do a very good job of staying around. Nightwing number 138 is brought to us by Dan Waters with artwork by Dennis Cowan, doing a phenomenal job as usual, with inks by Norm Ratmond, colors by Francesco Segala, and letters by Wes Abbott. This kind of continues with our uh, however you want to call this arc, the structuring of this arc, where we're doing sort of one and done stories that are tying into the developments in Bloodhaven, but they're still very independent. So this issue sees Nightwing going out to the sticks, to the boonies, I think. I don't know. They say it's like some kind of forest area, but one that has been slightly cleared away as Bloodhaven has developed its new superhighway to investigate the mystery of what one man reports to be a devil who came and has been attacking not just his cattle, but also him. Nightwing immediately analyzes the samples there and discovers that, well, we don't find it out until later, that the sample is not demonic in any way, but is in fact alien. So naturally, he calls his ex-girlfriend, who is an alien. But it's for rational reasons, okay? It's not because he's feeling some kind of way. This alien, or at least the one that was found on the scene, is a Scion, which, of course, if you know your DC history, the Scions were the ones who had kept Corey captive before she escaped and led to the new Teen Titans #1. Corey, of course, says that she's over it and will be able to approach this objective. We'll see differently. But that's when the Scion actually attacks. And we see Corey very much not over her feelings, blasting the Scion with her full bolts and setting the damn thing on fire as it runs towards the forest, setting parts of the forest on fire. So they're able to track him down, putting out fires along the way. But of course, by this point, he's fully dead, fully fried. Though they find an alien ship seemingly buried in this forest for a very long period of time. And that's when Nightwing realizes that it must have been eventually revealed once they cleared away some of the land to build the superhighway, allowing the Scion to escape. So Corey busts into the ship, or rather the ship allows her to come in, and they stumble upon a very old message about this particular Scion, revealing that it had come to Earth to, of course, track down the Tamaranian who had escaped, but in doing so, sustained a lot of damage on his ship and was forced to upload his consciousness into the ship's memory. Corey is immediately about to fry the system, and Dick's like, whoa, hold on, wait up. Like, this guy's still alive. Let's not completely fry him. I understand you still have some trauma, but like, let's be sensible here. And that's when Starfire basically says, no, really look at the message. It's a loop. There's nothing left. It's essentially a ghost in the machine, and the consciousness that was uploaded is gone. There's nothing left. So she fries the thing in what she claims to be an act of mercy, but let's not pretend that there wasn't a little bit of righteous vengeance in it. As they sort of leave the scene and, you know, walk away from the frying ship, Corey really tries to illustrate to Dick the importance of not letting something like that, or living in that pain, weighing on your conscience. Dick says he understands, but Corey very much hammers on the point that I don't think he does, as he's clearly still dealing with his suffering. So Nightwing, very much grappling with this trauma of what happened on the highway with the collision, decides the only thing that he can do to give himself some kind of peace of mind is to check in with the prosecutor who's really been gunning for Nightwing and trying to get justice for the families. And that's when Nightwing sits down, not to turn himself in, but to explain what happened and to give a little bit more context about the supposed witch of Bloodhaven, which we see on the final page getting picked up by a random stranger. To be continued in next month's issue. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really enjoying this like series of almost one-shot stories. I think Josh and I were talking about it last month. I can't remember if Rob was there with us, with the sniper story, where sure, they're one and done stories and they might seem like filler, but they're still very much connected to the overall Bloodhaven mythos. And I like that this sort of new development of the superhighway has literally given a chance for all of this stuff to be revealed, to be unraveled. It's just a really clever way of doing it. Like, I want to tell these stories that dig into kind of Bloodhaven's past, but like mysteries within Bloodhaven, but not necessarily have it be a 6-issue arc. Like I can do that while still making it work in service of the ongoing narrative of the changes, and also really, letting it sit on Nightwing's mind as he's going through it mentally. Now, I don't love to see my boy going through it, but I'll admit I'm taken in because this story is written so well that you just kind of like I want to see where this goes, even if I hate to see him suffer in such a way. Like he's lost everything at this point. He's lost his dignity. He's lost his tower. He's lost his girl. Like how much more can a man stand to lose? But no, in all seriousness, it's just continues to be one of my favorite books. And I don't know how long they're planning on going with this format of just doing these kind of Bloodhaven one and done stories. But, for as long as it continues to work before we really pivot towards the Witch of Bloodhaven mystery, I'm in it. So I gave this an 8.5 out of 10. Just phenomenal work.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. This one might be one of my favorites so far of this new kind of storytelling device. But at the same time, there was a lot of interactions with Dick and Corey that just felt awkward and almost out of character in a way. But at the same time, I think that was intentional because, like you mentioned, and it's very clear that Dick has been going through some shit. His mind is not at its sharpest right now. He's not sleeping well. And even Corey is just kind of showing concern, but also not sure what to do when Dick is acting like this because he's not typically like this at all. This might be the first time he's ever been this dark in his mind, right?
Certainly in a while. Maybe the darkest sheet. Well, actually, I don't want to say that because I've read some of those old issues of Teen Titans. Some serious shit. Definitely the darkest she's seen him in a while.
Time. Yeah. Right. So it was kind of hard to read with how awkward it was and how weird they sounded. But when I really thought about it like that definitely also kind of lends itself to the story. Art was fantastic. A lot of the designs for that Scion and the cow mutilations alone, like it kind of took me by surprise when they revealed that it was an alien. I was fully expecting like some kind of chupacabra type thing, especially when Dick was monologuing earlier about stuff about the Jersey Devil and the chupacabra and rumors about that in Bloodhaven areas before, not uncommon. Like they've been around for years. I'm like, all right, we're getting into some monsters. Let's fucking go. Right. But no, it's another Scion. Like, okay, that's cool too. And then that reveal that he's been there for decades and he's actually somewhat friendly potentially. I don't know the whole backstory, all of it completely with Corey and the Scions. Like, fill me in on what that Scion was trying to accomplish when he came to Earth, and that recording of him was saying that Corey was there to destroy or take over the Earth, and he was there to
originally when Starfire came to Earth, she was here to destroy it, wasn't she?
No. I mean, no, she was just escaping from torture. Although, well, that actually, now that I think about it, because I was like, if you know your DC history, you know that obviously she was experimented on by the Scions. Then I thought about it, and I was like, well, wait a minute. I thought she escaped from the Gordanians, from the Citadel, since that was sort of the whole impetus of why Corey hated Commander so much, because Commander essentially sold her to the Gordanians and let her be tortured for years until she finally escaped. So I gotta fact check that one actually, because I also remember them talking about the Scions actually performing the experimentation on Corey, which is how she developed her Starbolt powers. It's not indigenous to Tamaranians, but yeah, actually, I gotta make sure I know that history. I know for a fact it was definitely the Gordanians in charge of enslaving her, at least. Like that's going back to New Teen Titans #1. But in terms of the full history, I gotta give me a second. I'll fact check that one.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, is that portion of Coriander's history is kind of fuzzy for me. Like I know her planet and her people were enslaved, or at least the royal family was, and she was taken a little bit, and that is about as far as I know until she joins the Titans. Anything in between is kind of fuzzy for me. So
I just figured out where that came from.
What that Scion was talking about?
No, Corey coming here to destroy the Earth.
From the Titans TV show.
Yup.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I
that
mean, the
makes-
Scion says it. Obviously, he's, obviously has a bit of a bias. So,
Yeah, I was just curious if there was any weight to that Scion saying these things, or if
no.
he was just trying to like, I'm here to take her away.
Nah, man. Just talking shit, fam.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna get a 9 for me. Is actually when you look past the awkwardness and like really get an idea that this it's meant to be that way, it really works. It's really good stuff.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Josh, what you got?
Definitely not a hallucination for the witch. I'm really into this fucking story. This new spin on what a Nightwing story can be is just awesome. And as far as I'm concerned, Waters has a home in Nightwing for as long as he wants it, man. I love the way that he writes his shit. Getting right back to the witch being direct about it, also while doing these other little stories that don't have these other spanning arcs, which feels like it's detracting from that big villain, which I feel like Tom Taylor's Nightwing stories kind of suffered from. It doesn't do it. I mean, this is the way to go, man. It's dealing with Babs in prison. The unity in the Batman books is making me happy, even if all of the Batman books aren't. The art's really good, and in some places it's freaking outstanding. This is great, man. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
All right. So I suppose we can go from Dick handling some crazy shit to Dick handling some crazy shit.
Hey,
Yeah, for all the stuff he handles in this issue, because he kind of gets put on the back burner a little bit by somebody. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is New Titans. I nearly said number 3 because part 3 of the story. This is number 35, written by Tate Bromble with pencils and inks from Semi Basri and Jordi Tarragona. Pencils and inks from Vicente Cifuentes on pages 12, 13, 17, 19, and 20. Colors from Adriano Lucas and letters from Tom Napolitano with the main cover from Torrin Clark. We somewhat pick up where we left off last issue. Kind of. It does say before. So it's a little bit of a flashback, but pretty close to where we left off. This new unknown character on the Titans roster is in front of Vic, like the real Vic, inside this simulation that they got going on, and is detailing basically their first meeting. And she introduces herself as Eva. He has no clue who she is, but then they jump back to the present, and she's been explaining this whole part of the story to Tara and the other Titans, as they now have the real Victor Stone with them, still in this simulation type thing. They're still trying to find their way out, but now that they're all together, Vic is able to kind of reveal the major part of his plan, that he brought these Titans together because he knows what each of them can bring to the table. And the first step is for Kid Devil to teleport them to... No, not Kid. It's Red Devil now, right? Yeah, sorry. Red Devil. I'll never get over the fact that he used to be Kid Devil. It's ingrained in my mind. Red Devil. Exactly. To get Red Devil to teleport them to where they need to go, which is the central processing system, I guess you could call it, until the Fearsome Five, the simulation of the Fearsome Five, come crashing through a wall next to them once again, trying to attack them. And even though Red Devil is having trouble trying to figure it out, Vic, the idea, if you need to make it a curse, make it a curse and banish us from here to wherever we need to go. So he does just that.
Oh, cursed.
Okay, Danhausen. Yeah, so they make it to this secret sanctuary, where what they're calling Robo Cyborg is kind of the central processor, basically, is, and now they need to take it out, but it's not going to be as easy as they think, because they're also within this simulation that Robo Cyborg is fully capable of creating whatever it wants. So Eva, whoever this person is able to like techno-link. She is some sort of android, so she's able to connect Humo Cyborg, as coined by Stephanie Brown, to Robo Cyborg. So Vic is able to communicate with Robo Cyborg inside its processing unit, inside its mind, whatever you want. And inside its mind, he finds himself as a kid playing a video game that he used to play as a kid. And so he sits down and plays this game with Kid Vic. And Kid Vic, obviously being Robo Cyborg, actually is a bit robotic and sarcastic about some stuff, like, yes, of course I know that, I know everything kind of deal. Meanwhile, on the outside, the new Titans are doing what they can to hold off the Fearsome Five and whatever robotic tentacles that Robo Cyborg has got going on. Nightwing and Corey are the only like adult Titans members available there, but this is when Steph also tells them to maybe just take a step back. We got this. Just have our backs in case we need your support, because this team that we know of right now as Batgirl, Red Devil, John Kent Superman, and Yara Flor Wonder Woman, not Wonder Girl, Wonder Woman, as she would say, they have their shit together. They know what they're doing, and this is also when Vic kind of goes down the line of why he handpicks each and every one of these people. They each bring something special to the table, and it's also something that Robo Cyborg knows nothing about. And the whole reason that Robo Cyborg was doing this is because after the DCKO tournament and what they saw coming down the line, all it wants to do is protect its friends. And its idea of that is to kidnap them all and keep them locked in the simulation where they can't go out in the real world and die. Well, eventually Vic is able to get through to him, or it's, depending on what you want to look at as a robot, and it just kind of lets go. They become whole again. Cyborg is one unit once more, and they all head back out into the real world as a team. Dick, meanwhile, is talking to some blonde-haired woman, and I wanted to ask who the hell this was because I could not figure it out. About it, he's worried about Vic. He's got all this power, and he's capable of this, but how is he going to keep that power in check? How can we trust him to? And then we see Vic going into some laboratory in a cave, potentially underneath, I guess they're in Justice League Mountain. And he's there with Eva, and she asks, when will you tell them the truth? And all he says is, when they're ready. That is where the issue ends. So Cyborg definitely has some stuff going on in behind the scenes. We still don't know exactly what Eva is, but Cyborg seems to know. Potentially, even though he also was kind of confused at the beginning of the issue when Eva showed up. The team looks pretty solid, and I think I was kind of right that it's not an addition to, it's a replacement of. So this new Titans is literally just this group of Titans coming together. Tara will unofficially join the team, I imagine, next issue, if at all. I kind of hope she does. I think it'd be cool. She does. The last thing she says and seen at all is, yeah, it looks like the gig's finally up. And it just dawned on me, Dick was probably talking to Tara.
Yes,
Shit.
I was going to say.
Okay, so it's not the last thing she said.
Which is very, it was a panel that made me laugh because of all the Titans he's talking to Tara about trust.
Right?
Really?
I was thinking,
I don't know if we should trust Vic, my
Corey,
old friend
it's not Steph, it's not
like 10 years. And I'm telling this to Tara, the Titan who's betrayed us, I don't even know how many times.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I can trust him.
Right. For all the silliness of that panel, I think the thing that gets me the most is, it's Tara and not any of the other Titans that were also part of the simulation.
Yeah.
Where is Gar and Donna and Raven and Roy? Like, where are the rest that were very clearly in there? We never saw them. They're all out. They're all free, and we still haven't seen them.
Well, I think they were simulations, like they weren't real, but it does beg the question, where are the real Titans? Where did they go? Are they on vacation or something?
Where are they?
Fiji?
Yeah. Like that's
Pensacola.
Like where
In a trailer park.
Yeah, like, what happened?
It's a magical place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in wherever Lanterns is taking place. Middle of buttfuck nowhere, Arizona.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's maybe my biggest
Greenville,
gripe is
Alabama.
Blood Gulch, Texas, or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, that's my biggest gripe is where the fuck are they? At least some acknowledgement would be nice. You know, just something.
Yeah.
Like it's cool you saved Dick and Corey and Cyborg, and you have this new team of Titans to come together. But where the fuck are the rest? And why would they not at least make an appearance to be like, okay, yeah, we're gonna take a bow. Like, you guys got this. We're gonna head off for a little bit. That's my only gripe so far. The rest of the story was quite solid. I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite of the week, but it was, I think, a good opening act for this new team, and it's got me excited to see what they're going to do next.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Sorry, did you give your score?
No, I'm gonna give it an 8.
There you go.
I think it was an interesting wrap up to a bit of a weird story. I can't say that it's got me excited for what the new team is going to do. However, the team members themselves have done that. This team makes me go, all right, I'll read this. It's weird but enjoyable, and leads to whatever is next with Cyborg and Eva in the Heart of Apocalypse, because who knows what that is. Crap, I forgot what it was called. Something of Cyborg or something or other. It was given a name in the event at the end. But anyway, it's hard not to want to keep reading this one to see what's coming. And the art in here is beautiful, by the way, just gorgeous. I gave it an 8.25 out of 10.
Yeah, no, I'm same score as you, Josh. 8.25 out of 10. And I obviously it seems like they still want to focus more on this new team, but I do feel like an explanation as to where the older Titans are, because they just kind of disappeared very suddenly with the creative shakeup. I feel like an explanation is coming, and my crackpot theory is that they don't know. Like, they just went off somewhere and were like, okay, maybe we're going to take a break, and they are now entirely oblivious to the fact that there is a new group of Titans running around in, where is it, Justice League Mountain, Happy Harbor, wherever that's supposed to be. So that's my theory, and they're going to come back and be like, what the fuck? You guys just moved on without us? But no, for this story, I kind of agree with your opinion, Josh. Like, this team is very interesting to me, and is sort of the thing that's really keeping me going. The story, I think, has its moments, and I can very much read into the meta commentary, as I did with the first issue of this run, of the book really trying to push out of the slump that the Titans have been in terms of moving forward with their lives for the past 20 years or so. So I appreciate that it's trying to make that effort. I think the next course of action is, okay, we've set up this new team. Let's just go full steam ahead. Like, what kind of stories, what kind of crazy plots can you get into that'll really let them develop their dynamic, rather than focusing on the old Titans? Because I think that's where you're really going to sell people, is showing why you should care about this new team, instead of giving equal focus to the older Titans and the newer Titans. I know it's a little bit of a harder sell. Obviously, that's what people latched onto at the beginning of this book. But if you really want to help them move forward, give us a dynamic that we can get behind. And we kind of got a bit of that. I love seeing Steph take the role of a leader. I don't know why Eddie is being such a douche in this issue, or just in general. Killing him must have really made him aggro. And maybe it's this new, like, roided out body he's going on. I don't know what's going on with Eddie Bloomberg, but the last one I remember was kind of a pushover, and now he's like a frat boy. It's ridiculous. But
that sounds like a damn indie book, doesn't it? What's going on with Eddie Bloomberg?
What's going on with Eddie Bloomberg? That'll be my Kid Devil 6-issue miniseries that I never write for DC. Kid Devil, Red Devil. What's going on with Eddie Bloomberg?
Red Devil.
That's the full title. But no, I think like we've got a glimpse of what the dynamic could be or might be, let's go with that and just explore that further and get people engaged, because I think that's where the book will hopefully be able to really shine. So it's got a lot of interesting elements. We've cleared this first story. Let's see where else we can go. So that's where I'm at.
That's where I'm at with it too. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. You guys ready to cruise on over to the absolute universe?
Hell yeah.
We got one that I'm gonna try and zip through.
Wait, are we gonna take the superhighway or the Mirrorverse? Because that one is fun, one is not.
I'm gonna crash us through the still point.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Only for a little bit.
Buckle in, you're probably gonna throw up. And Absolute Flash number 15.
Let's take the bleed. Maybe we'll find the Vigil.
That'd be dope. We need Rom V to show up though. Written by Jeff Lemire with art drawn by Nick Robles with coloring from Adriana Lucas and lettering from Tom Napolitano with the solo effort by Robles on the cover. Outside of Dibney's shelter, the Black Flash shows up, but it sure doesn't look like we've used to what we're used to. It looks more like whatever I think must have visited Scott Snyder when he was a child. It swallows Dibney up, and while Wally tries to tackle it, but it gets away, and the burst of energy caught a stretch of the road afire. Boom. Future Wally shows up and says, "Please stop looking for Dad," to which young Wally replies, "I'm going to keep looking for Dad." Future Wally says that he's going to show that he showed him what it will cost, and then, disappears. I don't think the message was as loud and clear as he was hoping for. Excuse me. If he keeps looking for his dad, he's going to let loose the Black Flash, but he doesn't seem to care. Linda helps him track down the scientists that were involved with the project that ate Barry and his dad, and gets left behind against her wishes, as well as that Silas. We also find out that Silas Stone's son, Victor, is missing. Meanwhile, the Rogues are brought back into action by none other than a man called Rick Flag. Why? He offers amnesty in exchange for killing baby Grodd. Confession, and I don't know why, but I couldn't stop looking for words in the body of Black Flash. It just felt like that was like a Capullo-esque kind of, like, there's some words gonna get mixed in there. Anyway, other than that, this is just really wonderful getting to read a Wally becoming the Flash all over again, and it's brand new, not something that I've seen a bunch before, and best of all, it's done incredibly well. I love the Rogues individually and together as a group. Linda is great. The art's so well suited to everything in the book. A well-crafted team making a well-crafted book that I just can't get enough of. It's, even if this one was a little bit predictable, the warning was hopefully just that image of the Black Flash, but his denial is obvious, like right from the get-go. I just don't know another way to handle that kind of a situation in this particular kind of story without it. Whole thing, 8.25 out of 10.
Yeah, this is an 8 out of 10 for me. I love the follow-up from the teases in what was the I forgot the name of the arc, the 2-issue arc from last month. Was it Mirror Master? I almost wanted to
Mirror Master,
yeah, I almost wanted to call it Master of Reality at first, which would be an awesome title, but I don't think is correct.
Mirror Racing.
Yeah. But no, I love the follow-up this month, because I thought they were going to tease it out a little bit, like, well, we have this mystery of Star Labs and the 3 principal scientists who are behind it, Barry Allen, Ray Palmer, Silas Stone. Like, okay, we got to try and track them down and, see who's around, but we kind of get straight to it. And we even get a cameo from Ray Palmer in this issue. And Ray, very much in Ray Palmer fashion, despite this being the absolute universe, still has some of his old tendencies and some of his worries. And I was very interested to see some of his theories about what the still point actually is and how it kind of maybe sits on the edge of something even bigger. And he kind of hints at that, and it sort of lends to this larger sort of universe theory that everyone has been on the periphery of there's something darker at the center that like we can't quite tell exactly what it is, but we know that it's there, which is really fascinating. So maybe Ray, kind of like John Jones and the Justice League, who are also kind of aware of it, they're sort of getting closer to what is this mystery of our universe, and who's what and possibly who, want to give it away, is sitting at the center of it. So that's really interesting. So I'm excited to see where the follow-up is with that, and wondering if we're maybe going to try to find out where Silas Stone is in the next issue. But there's a lot of mystery here. There's a lot of stuff that's very exciting to look forward to. But this one definitely felt like kind of more of a stage setting issue. Like, okay, here's a couple of possible mysteries to explore. Wally with the still point and everything, but obviously the scientist of Star Labs. There's a lot going on, and it makes me wonder. I haven't looked at the solicits for next month, so I'm not sure which direction they're headed, but it makes me wonder which mystery they're going to try and tackle first. So a lot to look forward to, but I'm definitely invested in it. So 8 out of 10 for me.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely loved this issue too. I will say right away it's getting an 8.75 for me. Very interesting revelations, some very interesting stuff going on. You guys pretty much said everything that I had in my notes, except for one thing with the still point, in that I guess you'd call it a diagram or just notes that Ray Palmer had while he was looking over. I paid very close attention to that, and I was very intrigued that the still point is suspiciously shaped like a lightning bolt, of course.
Mhm.
But at the very bottom left corner, I remember, if I think it was, there was kind of a dark scribble with a white circle in it, and I think a question mark or something saying, "What is this?" Does that not remind you guys of the golden light in Absolute Green Lantern?
I'm about
It's
to go
the
take a
exact
look, man.
symbol that's on John Stewart's chest.
Yeah,
he's
you could be
lighting
onto
up
something.
the light. So maybe Absolute Flash and Absolute Green Lantern are going to have some kind of connection going on, if that is the case.
Yeah. Or maybe there is a connection between the still point and the golden light.
Yeah.
Which would be even more interesting, because if Ray Palmer's theory is correct and the still point sits on the edge of the sort of dark core of the absolute universe, what does that mean for the spectrum of light?
Yeah. Yeah, there's like so many questions here, and this could get like
Gravitational pull or psyop. I blew it up. Gateway timeline. How many levels?
all right.
Why this shape?
And that is, of course,
That's all the
an Omega
words that I
symbol,
can make
so-
out.
Let me take another look. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I just vaguely remember that circle image.
It,
No,
No, I'm
mostly-
looking at it. Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah,
and
there's
I'm
definitely that circle image there, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and it says point, question mark, question mark. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's that circle there. And then there's another one kind of to the right of it with lightning bolts coming out of it. I just
Yeah.
figured that was like
Smaller
a portal, but
Something to car
still.
uses.
I think I was also
something.
looking more at the Omega symbol, which I thought might be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course, that's the Omega symbol.
Yeah.
You know what I'm curious about? This is the still. Oh, jeez. This is the still point, right?
Yeah.
And
If this is
our
still point, where's the
Flash.
speed point?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Our Flash has a speed force and a still force. Is there a speed point?
That would be incredibly hokey, but maybe, I don't know.
And equally a strength point and a sage point.
Strike point.
If Joshua Williams
Strike
has something to say
point
about it.
sounds like a location in like an FPS shooter or something.
Yeah,
Like,
it really
Oh,
does.
that just reminded
Get the
me
strike
of
point.
Steve Colbert.
And Sage Point sounds like something out of like Fable
Yeah.
for Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. The mystical realm of Fable Point, home of Goblin.
And he's ugh.
Yeah, we got to talk about Colbert after. I want to get the skinny on what's going on now. I know
Oh,
the show's
here's-
basically done, which is
Yeah,
stupid.
no, yeah,
It is
his
done, isn't it?
last
Yeah, it's
episode-
canceled.
Yeah, his last episode was last night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
dumb.
Since me and Holly moved in together, every single morning we watched Colbert together. Even when she came up here and stayed for a month, we would watch it together.
Right.
And yep. So it was
Yeah.
that
Hey.
kind of sucked, man.
Yeah.
Broadcast TV, man. It's a dying service.
Oh, he was the number 1 rated show, and he talked mad shit about Donald Trump.
But
Yeah,
number one
I
rated among people who still watch TV. That's the important
Yes.
thing. I don't know what the demographic numbers are. Maybe they were still pretty high, but like people that I talk to were watching Colbert clips on YouTube. So you can imagine they're probably not tuning in for the full show.
Yeah, and they fucked it up because they never figured out how to monetize it. But
I'm like, if you can, I don't want to go on a full rant, but
I really hope that he picks up something else with a microphone.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if fucking Tucker Carlson can have an independent show on the internet, I think
Yep.
Colbert can have I would be shocked if that wasn't the case. Like, that just doesn't
I really hope. I know that he is helping writing, or maybe just flat out penning a Lord of the Rings show or movie. But I
He's definitely on the
think
writing team. Yeah.
that is with every voice that speaks truth that goes away, it's like a devastating blow. We can't be losing people like Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel on broadcasts of any kind.
Yeah.
We need,
But again,
we need,
it's more
we need
like
voices like that.
how many people are actively watching broadcast. I guess it comes down to more age demographic.
I mean, I don't watch it live, so
Yeah.
I mean, I'm part of the problem. But I did watch
There
it
you go.
faithfully.
That's honestly the thing, because the demographic that those hosts are catering to are the same demographic that also has cut cable, has gone to streaming, does some pirating, if you will.
Well, the funny thing is, like, you don't even have to have this is what like is still shocking to me, but I guess is becoming more and more normal. Because before it's like, well, I need cable for certain things, right? I need cable to watch news. I need cable to watch sports or something. You don't even need that anymore. You can watch any sporting event or any live news broadcast on YouTube TV. It's ostensibly the same thing. Like it's not even that like cable is too expensive. It's redundant, which is crazy.
Yeah, there's no point to it.
Got
regular good fiber optic internet.
Yeah. Anything that you want to watch live, you can now watch on any kind of streaming service.
Yeah.
Not even after the fact, like live.
Yeah.
That's
so like
crazy.
cable box is going to cost you like $80, but you're not going
you
to
gotta
have
get that
access to
shit
what's on
installed
the streaming services.
Yeah.
Or you could pay $80 for all the streaming services.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you're going to get what you want, not what they tell you to watch. And it's crazy to me how many people I have heard say, God, you know what? I honestly miss cable because it was just so easy. And it's like I flip a channel and, oh, that's what I'm watching. I don't have to pick it. What? No. That's why I gave up cable television 20 years ago.
Oh my God.
I can understand that to a degree.
TiVo. I remember DVR. I remember before that shit existed, dog.
Yeah.
When that shit came out, it was like,
remember that? But like, even still, yeah, I know.
Motherfucker said I could pause live TV back. What?
Pause live TV, and you could record. That was like, I remember that was the greatest thing ever. Where it was like,
it was
I could miss. Ever. I mean, I was a kid, but it was like I could miss an episode of, I don't know, fucking Arthur or something, right? But I could have my Comcast box record it for me so I could go back and watch it later. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Hell yeah, so did
But
I.
you
And
only-
I was a grown up when
You only had like a limited amount of.
shit.
I don't know why I'm explaining this like you guys don't know, but maybe it's just reliving the memory. But that was another thing that would piss me off because you only had a limited amount of space, so you could
Yeah.
like DVR a bunch of episodes of something, but it would cloud up your box. So my dad would get pissed because I would like, I don't know, I'd record a bunch of episodes of like the Batman or something, and then it would cloud the whole box. And if he's trying to watch, Sunday Night Football, you don't have any more space. So, man.
Brandon.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you joked. That's how it was. It's like,
Watch your TV.
Yeah,
you're in trouble.
I want you to watch me as I'm deleting all of your Batman episodes.
Well, I wouldn't make me watch.
would've
He would
been
just
my
delete it, and then I would go back and I'd be like, "What happened?" And he's like, "I don't want you recording all of that." And those were dark times.
Yeah. And the Batman was such a good show.
Oh man. Well, because I couldn't. I was like, I never could catch it when it was on the air, even if they were doing reruns. So it was like I had to record it after the fact.
Yeah.
Like what you needed to do was become a part of the Batman Underground.
Or buy a DVD from Target.
We are Robin.
I was gonna say though, I can understand or at least agree to a certain extent those people that are say they do miss cable to a degree, because I can say from my own experience, there's tons of movies that I've discovered just channel surfing that I never would have watched otherwise. That I just stumble upon stuff and I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. Like
I do that.
Something that like, well, something that like a poster on Netflix and a brief description just wouldn't catch my attention. Like I need to like actually like pop in 20 minutes already into the movie and be like, maybe this could be good. And that's how I found Stonehenge Apocalypse. That's how I found From Dusk Till Dawn. That's how I found House of the Dead. That's how I found all these like weird, interesting enough movies that like I never would have watched this otherwise. But hey, it's actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
There's another vampire movie I watched last year when I was at a hotel in Montreal and just channel surfing because they had fucking satellite or something. And like, oh, this looks interesting. I don't remember what it was called. And I can't remember who was in it, but it was actually really good.
Yeah. I do kind of agree with that. Because like if not for channel surfing, there's a lot of stuff that I just would have never known about. G4 is like that. I don't know how I found it, but like it was just on one day. And I think it was when they were doing I know it was when they were doing Comic-Con coverage, and I was like, whoa, Comic-Con on TV. Yeah. What is that?
Hell yeah.
That was I mean, granted, yeah, so like I ditched cable in my early 20s, but G4, that was just that was everything to me. I would make sure that I was watching that and then go back and watch other shit that I was recording that was on at the same time as those shows. G4 at that time was a priority. The stuff that they covered, the shows that they had, and Olivia Wilde,
the show,
whatever her name was, I was in fucking love.
Well, before they changed the host to whatever the hell her name was,
she was cool too, though.
Yeah. No, they were all pretty good. Yeah, Olivia Munn went off to Hollywood and had herself a good movie career.
That's true.
And then, honestly, people are going to give me shit for this, but like the panel that was on DC's streaming platform, they did like a show where they went over stuff and talked and stuff like that. That was a fun kind of show too. They fucked up not doing something with that. That was good.
Yeah.
Except they had Sam Humphries on it, but it was good.
I will say another thing I do miss about cable, or at least just having that kind of regular thing, was like, I don't know how to put it exactly, but like there would definitely be times where it gave me something to look forward to, and now it's kind of like, I don't know, you can have a whole season, which is nice, don't get me wrong, but like I remember when Clone Wars was coming out in like 2010 or 11 or whenever that was. It was like, okay, Thursday night, Clone Wars is on. like maybe my mom will let me watch it, but I know it's there, and I can catch it, and maybe I'll DVR it if I can't see it live. But like that used to mean something. And now it's like you can just watch a whole season, on streaming, which is still cool, but something that's a little lost about that. I won't deny it. I
feel like okay, so not for me, because obviously I've been doing it for so long. Like I've been watch at my own leisure for so long that it's whatever. But for pardon the phrase, nerds like us who are big into things, I guess I can see how the nostalgia is coming from the lack of the hunt.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Because it's what draws us to being that first person in line on opening day of our favorite movie franchise's latest offering. It's what's got us at the comic shop every freaking Wednesday, digging through lawn boxes, and I can see that similar sort of thing being like, if you lose that, why is the bus taking so long to get home? I'm gonna fucking miss pizzas. Then I guess a little bit of that special magic is gone from it.
Oh yeah. No, I don't know. It's probably mostly driven by nostalgia, but it is kind of like damn, this is really gonna reveal myself, but it's like the example that lives strongly in my mind, where I was just like, I have to make sure I'm home by like 4 or 5 o'clock, because there's a limited window of time for me to catch the latest episode of Bates Motel, for people who remember that show. Really embarrassing. But I loved that. And it was like, okay, new episode comes out on, it was like Monday or Tuesday. And we had like these iPads at school, and I would like, write down all my theories and stuff, but I would make sure like, okay, I want to make sure I have all my shit done and I can, get home in time to see it. And I don't know, I guess there is something about that. It's just like, I don't feel like I've had that experience in a long time.
Yeah, there's no sense of urgency anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
The only real urgency or motivation to watch a series when it comes out is to avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
That's all there is now.
Another thing too is like, I mean, I know advertising is everywhere, don't get me wrong, but like, I think another thing too is like, sometimes you should be watching something and like an ad would come on for a show you've never even heard of, and it's like, damn, I kind of want to check that out. That's how I ended up watching Bates Motel. It wasn't even like I saw clips or or something like that. It was just like, that's a commercial that looked interesting, I kind of want to see that show. So
yeah.
It was actually, I thought it was a good show.
Yeah. That and billboards. Oh my God. Let me tell you, living in LA in like the mid 2010s, billboards everywhere. You would discover quite a lot of shows because of billboards.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think that's probably the main reason I knew that Jane the Virgin existed. I'm like dead serious. Billboards fucking everywhere.
I bet.
I don't even remember. Really. Wow, that was distracting.
All right. Wow, I took us a left turn down that fucking road. Let's back it up a little bit and finish the show out, shall we?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Brandon, take us through it.
Yes. Speaking of The Hunt, a book all about the hunt, kind of. Absolute Green Arrow, #1, written by, I'm probably going to butcher this name, sorry in advance, Pornsak Pichichote, with art by Rafael Albuquerque, colors by Marcelo Maiolo, and letters by Jeff Powell. Not going to speed through this one, but honestly, not a ton of content to chew on. It's a very fast-paced one, kind of like with Deathstroke. But essentially, there is a hunter on the loose, and he's going after billionaires, maybe, or at least 2 billionaires specifically, or 1 billionaire, sorry. Jubal Slade, formerly of Green Arrows Trading, is the first on the chopping block by the mysterious killer who shows up at his apartment one night, takes out one of his guards, and then immediately takes out Jubal Slade. We get a little bit of discourse through, I guess, depictions of social media interactions, speaking of modern day content and how people view it. But essentially, this is all just kind of set up to show people's reactions to the death of Jubal Slade before we cut away to who I would call the main protagonist of this issue and maybe the series as a whole, Dinah Lance, formerly Black Canary, an MMA fighter who's now working in private security, I guess, as a bodyguard. She just got fired from her job from punching the crap out of an overeager paparazzi and has now been assigned to a new role where she has to protect one Reese Tyler, a very scummy, very sleazy pharmaceuticals kind of guy, your classic pharma bro, who made a lot of money selling very powerful opiates that killed quite a few people. Dinah naturally feels very much against this, but is essentially strong-armed into the position by Hector Hammond, who shows up alongside Tyler to essentially say, look, I know you're caring for your sick dad, and I know you're working hard to make, all of his medical bills go away, but like, what if you didn't have insurance? That'd be real bad, wouldn't it? You'd have to take this job. So I'm just going to push this button right here and make your dad's insurance plan go away. And now your ass is going to have to show up. Of course, he says it far more condescendingly than that, believe it or not. But it pushes Dinah into a corner where she is forced to come and work protecting Reese Tyler as they are trying to uncover the mystery of what exactly Ollie had hidden. Of course, it's a mystery to us and to Dinah. I suspect that Hector and the others know, and they're trying to get to the bottom of it as they have now breached Ollie's secret bunker in order to find out what's going on. But just as they have begun to investigate, a bunch of green arrows start flying out of nowhere. Dinah immediately moves to protect Reese, only for him to immediately start to cough and hack as he was struck by an arrow, not killed, but the arrows have been infected, or rather laced with poison. That seems to be very fast acting and results in Reese essentially dying immediately. Another arrow sets off a grenade, and we get our first full shot of this mysterious green arrow killer, who is lethal, ruthless, and moves incredibly fast with moves that Dinah has never seen. He immediately goes after Hector Hammond, cutting off his hand, but ultimately leaving him alive, as he will likely come back next time, either to finish the job or hopefully get some more information out of him. Not more, but just get some information out of him. Dinah moves to try and take care of Hammond's wound, but ultimately is maybe a little bit pleased that Hammond really got his shit kicked in. And that's when we cut to a later point when Malcolm Merlin, who I don't think I mentioned earlier, is the one running the security firm that Dinah works for. Merlin and Dinah have now gone back to the bunker to investigate. And that's when they find some kind of wall that seems to have come loose in the explosion from earlier. They're able to pry the wall off, and they find behind this fake wall a child, somehow infected, covered with eyes, and very much dead, although not dead recently, someone who has been dead for a little bit, which leads Dinah to wonder just what the hell Ollie was up to. And that's Green Arrow, absolute Green Arrow #1. I wish it was also Green Arrow #1, but unfortunately the DC universe doesn't have too much love for Ollie right now. That being said, this was a pretty exciting, dare I say it, horrific debut for Green Arrow. Sort of what they've been teasing it out to be, but I will definitely say even I was a little surprised at how they really leaned into some of the body horror stuff in this one, giving kind of gross detail as to some of the mutilations that Jubal Slade in particular went through. But it's just a super exciting debut. It's very tightly written. The art is great from Rafael Albuquerque. And I love that Dinah is at the center of this. And we've got, I think, a pretty compelling mystery of who's behind the Green Arrow mask. Who could it be? We've got a couple of suspects that they mentioned in the issue, but nothing concrete yet. So it'll I imagine be kind of teased out. But I'm excited to see where it goes. And to see Dinah uncover more of the mystery of not just who is this Green Arrow killer, but maybe what Ollie had discovered, and what could have been so dangerous that they were willing to get him killed. So super exciting debut. Looking forward to it. And based on the sales, I would not be surprised if this book gets expanded beyond 6 issues. So I gave this one an 8.5 out of 10. I really dug it.
Right on. Yeah,
Oh yeah, man. Go ahead, Rob.
Sorry, I had a theory like right off the bat when I saw the design for this new Green Arrow that it's actually Malcolm Merlyn, and that is 100% lent due to the shape of the mask with the 2 points at the bottom of the chin. Remind me very much of like the classic Malcolm Merlyn beard.
Yeah.
And I think that's just telegraphing it perfectly. Even lending itself to the fact that at the end, when they're in the Green Arrow bunker, Malcolm Merlyn was not present when the Green Arrow showed up. I don't remember if he went on that mission with them in the first place, but by the end of it, all you saw was Dinah and Hector Hammond. Right? They were the only two there at the time. And I feel like that Roy Harper, Mia Dearden, and I forget the third person's name from from Freedom Fighters.
Tom Halloway.
Tom Halloway, that's it.
Was his name?
Just red herrings. That's all I think that those are.
For some reason, I was like, why does that name sound so familiar? I was blanking, and I was like, well, he's got the spider tattoo, but I know he's not spider tattoo, but I know he's not the tarantula because that's John Fox.
I looked him up. His code name is the Spider, if I remember right. Okay. He was tied to the Freedom Fighters for a while, and he was in other like, I don't want to call them obscure or B tier teams, but he was in that caliber of team for a while. He's another Archer, but I don't think he was ever necessarily tied to Green Arrow. I think they just looked up Archers in the DCU that are not 100% like blood related to Oliver Queen. I'm like, okay, there's a limited number. We're like, we need a third, and we can't use like Hawk. So so I think those 3 are just kind of red herrings. I wouldn't be surprised at the same time if it is any of those. I mean, I'd be surprised if it was Tom was his name. Mia, most likely not. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Roy Harper. I'd be more than okay with that, but I definitely think my theory is it is Malcolm Merlyn. And it definitely seemed like when he was offering that job to Dinah as well, he wasn't part of that selection process at all. It wasn't even his idea to hunt down the killer. It was all Hector Hammond and the other guy that they were trying to protect, whose name escapes me as well. It was all Tyler Reese, yeah. It was all them. They're the ones that wanted to bring in the Dinah in the first place. So,
or I'm sorry, I totally butchered that. I think his name was Reese Tyler, and I think I got to double check. Is Reese Tyler, because at first when I read it, I was like, wait, Tyler Chemicals, is that like Rex Tyler, like our man Rex Tyler? But I don't know, maybe.
And every time I read it, all I could think about was Terminator.
There you go, Tyler Reese.
Yeah, but I think it's because in Terminators, Reese the first name or last name?
Last name, right? Isn't
last
it?
Name.
Yeah, it's the.
It's the last name. So maybe fuck now I don't remember, because I remember thinking about it was like the opposite.
Yeah,
with this character, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Yeah, so that's my biggest theory here. That's obviously my biggest note. It's fucking Malcolm Merlyn. I think it has to be. He's like the only other big name Archer in DC that is left, and he's in the book, and they haven't showcased any archery skills, but I think there's a reason for that. Why the fuck not? I think that'd be cool. I think it'd be an interesting twist. This issue is getting a 9.25. It was solid. Even Black Canary is really cool.
Definitely.
Even if
And
she
it
has
is. It seemingly is a. I might have glossed over this in the summary, but I love that it is a constant. No matter the universe, Ollie and Dinah always find each other somehow, whether it's in the past or the present. So
It needs to
crazy.
happen.
Yeah,
Never,
They always have
ever,
some kind of
ever
history.
should be different.
I completely agree.
You know what else was really cool? The title for this book, The Longbow Killer. That was dope.
Yeah, was.
Love it.
Mhm.
I didn't expect a Green Arrow title to be this dark. I know we were given a heads up, but like you guys said, this was more than I was expecting. And I fucking love it. And who even knows what is up with Ollie and that kid? I'm imagining he was trying to save him if the baddies were looking for him. The rest of this, though, a number one issue is supposed to make you interested in the series, and this does that in spades. It is so damn good. The story, the art, the setup, I'm fucking in. Well done. 8.75 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
wait.
mean, I'll be honest with you. The review you just gave it definitely surprised you only gave it an 8.75. I thought for sure it was going to be a 9 or 9.5 or something, just based off the words you gave it, because you're like giving us a glowing review.
I mean, 8.75 is a pretty damn high score.
Oh, I know. I was just expecting something higher.
It is a setup.
Yeah,
Easy Tigger.
that's true. But what a fucking setup.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man. Far
Maybe this will be
this
the
was
version
as
of,
far as the setup goes, this was just as good as Wonder Woman's,
yeah.
which I consider to be the absolute best setup so far in the I think Wonder Woman's probably the best number one so far out of the absolute universe in this time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
it's
I can agree.
well, it's definitely a toss up between this and Martian Manhunter for me, which I know is not an opinion you share. But yeah, this one is definitely. I'd probably say this is like on par with Absolute Flash as being one that I really liked. First issue that I thought was like really solid and effective.
I can agree with the Absolute Wonder Woman comparison. Just how the first issue left me feeling at the end of just like excitement and joy and intrigue, where Martian Manhunter gave me that, but more so in holy fucking shit, what could possibly happen next kind of deal.
Yeah.
Whereas Green Arrow and Wonder Woman both got me like an excitement level of watching an action movie, like
Totally
a thriller, right?
Hell yeah, man. Oh. And the yawn tells me it's time to wrap the show up. Rob's fading away from us, the room, and he is slowly getting darker. I'm afraid that we're going to watch him turn into a pumpkin.
Wait, wait, in brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. There we go.
Beautiful.
I think what you meant to say was
God said, "Let there be light."
What science said, "Let there be light."
I didn't say which God.
Oh dang, Rob! I think what you meant to say was, "And I shall shed my light over dark."
There you go.
Where the dark things cannot stand the light.
And the light.
Yeah, he hasn't
is
used
it
that
dark
in like
evil?
50 issues.
Oh, wow. Is it dark evil or dark things? And I shall shed my light over the
dark.
Or is it? And I shall shed my light over the darkness.
I shall shed my light. See, I always forget because
I feel like I always default to dark things, and I realize or dark evil, and I'm like, what does that even mean?
It might be. I also want to say that dark's not even part of it. I think we might just be confusing that with the next.
It's only the dark evil, like the regular evil. I'm totally cool with.
Oh no, he does. Okay. He does say it. Oh my god,
dark evil.
Okay, so I guess
I shall shed my light over all dark evil.
But
Where
what
the evil things cannot stand the light of the Green Lantern.
I just never thought about that. I'm like, what is dark evil, as opposed to light evil, which is like evil, but it's not that bad. It's not as scary.
Well, dark evil is like whatever was in the Evil Dead, and light evil is like I don't
Mojo
know,
Jojo.
Spectre.
For I am Mojo Jojo.
Something a little more silly.
Mojo Jojo, buddy.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good Mojo Jojo impression.
Thank you.
You should do.
My kids used to love
Samurai
that
Jack next.
Oh God, yeah, Samurai Jack. Oh, Aku, what a fucking show. God. Gendy Tartakovsky could not do anything wrong back then.
Yes, man. Shit, you want to talk about things I was like, could not wait to see when they brought back the latest season of Samurai Jack. Oh my God, I was so excited.
So good. Anyway, so let's do our top three.
All
No
right.
longer fading into the darkness, but I think Josh is still tired as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. It's been a time. All right, top three. My third is Deathstroke, Terminator number 3. Second is going to Nightwing number 138, and number 1 is absolute Green Arrow. However, I think that my favorite moment is going back into third place. It's the reveal showing Deathstroke that killed Little Green at the very end.
You're just doubling down on your theory now.
I said it was Grant from the get-go. They stole Grant from me in Batman and Robin or whatever the fuck that nightmare was, and replaced it with Geoforce.
Yeah,
They're giving me Grant. They'll never give me Jericho, but they're giving me Grant. I know it.
One might say they're granting it to you.
There you go.
But I'm just see, and that's when I need a soundboard.
Yeah.
All right, Tony Fleeks. I hope he hooks me up. What about you guys? What was your top 3 and favorite moment this week?
I can go. Number
go for it. I'm still
3.
thinking of my favorite moment.
Oh yeah, no. Number 3 for me, kind of tough. I wasn't sure whether to give it to Flash or to Deathstroke, but I think just based on the discussion that we had and talking about like all the possible theories of who the kind of killer could be, kind of gonna go with Deathstroke this week, which is surprising. I did really enjoy Absolute Flash. Don't get me wrong. Might have even rated it higher, but no, it was a cool discussion of thinking of what it could be. But number 2, I'm going to give to Absolute Green Arrow. Very solid debut. Number 1, though, definitely got to be Nightwing. That one is just like continues to be a phenomenal book.
Fucking phenomenal.
My favorite moment, maybe it was just because I was in a mood. Maybe it was because I don't want to go on a tangent again, but I did just recently complete a Teen Titans collection, the original series. So Titans mood. But my favorite moment, got to give it to the double page spread of Steph saying Titans together. One, because it's fucking awesome, and you're seeing them fight all these iconic Titans villains, but also like it's so cool seeing Steph say Titans together. I'm not gonna cry, but I could, is what I'm saying.
What is it that she says prior to Titans together? Because that's what made me love it.
Well, she says the cringe of it all, but she still says it.
She said, cringe of it all.
Like, look, maybe cringe, but you said it. And that's all that counts.
What was her follow-up battle cry? Because she had another one later on in the issue. I don't remember what it was.
I think they just say Titans go.
Titans go. That also feels like maybe it was like a passing of the torch kind of deal. Like, Dick was like, okay, Steph, you got to say it. And she's like, okay, I'll say it. But now I have my own. And if Titans go is their thing from now on, I'm not against it.
No, it's familiar. Go Titans, go. I mean, it's
Yeah,
right
I
there.
like Titans
So,
together, so I
Yeah,
wanted to say.
Titans together is cool.
yep.
But
It
if
needed to be done. It needed to be done. Way to go, Bromple.
I
Excellent.
just I'm like Steph finally being a leader of anything is just like makes my heart feel warm.
Good job, Tate. Tate, good job.
Did a good job. Did me proud, kid.
you figured it out.
I say that around the house all the time. Anytime I get something right, it's good job, Josh. Josh, good job. And the kids have never even seen Letterkenny, and they still fucking die when I do it.
That is a show I need to watch. I think you've told me that a couple of times.
Yes,
Letterkenny? Oh,
I'm worried if I
You would
watch it,
fucking love it.
I'm gonna go like full Canadian. There's no going back.
You have to. It's the only way.
I'm
Josh has.
scared.
It's 11
I haven't
seasons.
got-
They're all short.
Fucking
You can
wonderful.
finish it in a weekend very easily.
You're gonna want to
Dangerous.
binge some of it. You'll
That's
be like,
dangerous,
"Did I just
man.
watch 7 episodes?"
It's been like 2 hours. What the fuck?
It's
I-
good stuff though.
Yeah,
Especially
every
their cold
season that came
opens when
out, I
they
binged it in a
battle.
day.
Dang. Hey, I'll watch it on my birthday, or as it's more commonly known, Canada Day.
Canada Day. Yeah, I'll be
When
in
is that?
my local park
July
on
1st.
Canada Day, and I'll have my Canadian flag, and I will say "Happy Birthday, Brandon."
I appreciate that. Thank
No
you.
problem.
I should lean into that one of these days. Just go full Canadian with it. Get a
Yeah,
fucking flag or
go
something.
full fucking hoser.
I should.
Yeah,
I'm scared, but I should.
Go,
Just on-
just hang around the comic book shop with nothing
Yeah.
more than like fucking Wolverine claws on.
Oh my god, yeah. What's like the most Canadian booze I could buy?
Canadian
I
whiskey.
was gonna say,
Or no,
yeah,
CCR.
that's Creedence Clearwater Revival. You're talking
Or
about Canadian Club.
Canadian Club.
Just
That's what I'm
CC,
thinking
yeah.
of. CC. That's yes.
No.
Yeah, you just added a letter there. I get it. Yeah, the CC.
If that's a liquor, otherwise it's probably Molson.
Ooh,
Okay, well,
I don't know if I can drink Molson, dude.
I wouldn't if I were
it's-
you.
It's been a long time, Josh, and I will say that the beers have evolved over the years. Molson is still around, but they don't like Brandon. I don't know if you know, they had an ad campaign for years, at least in the early 2000s, late 90s, just saying "I am Canadian" because their beer is called Molson Canadian. It's like,
Yeah.
I am Canadian with like. Me and my friends, we always try to get the mountains blue, so we're drinking Coors. Molson is what we call.
You can't drink
Yes.
Coors. They support Trump.
They really?
No.
Yep. Yeah, and they were the Coors was my daily drinker, and that's why I stopped drinking
What
beer
the
daily.
fuck?
I think I only drank Coors because it's cheap.
Yeah, no,
I drink Coors
last
because
I
it's
heard
not
about-
heavy. It tastes. I like the taste of it. That you can drink fucking
yeah.
6 of them, and it
Oh
doesn't do
yeah,
anything to you.
it's like my
Or
favorite
me.
drinking beer.
Hmm.
Last I heard, like all the,
Might I suggest
the
Beck's
conservatives
Light
and Trumpers
instead?
were like against it because they were supported LGBT stuff.
No, that
Yeah.
was Bud Light, buddy.
Oh, really?
And I remember Coors
Yeah.
as well because everybody was like, "Fuck
Nope.
the silver bullet."
Nope. Everybody.
There was multiple.
Nope.
Yeah, I gotta check that. I like maybe it was Bud Light. I remember one of them was like it's
Yeah,
woke.
there was a massive backlash because they had
Yeah.
a transgender person in a commercial. That was
Yeah.
Bud Light.
Yeah.
Kid Rock
Oh, I guess
shot
I'm-
Bud Light
yeah.
with an AK-47. And
Well, there was something. Yeah, there was something like people were like, "Oh, like small town bars don't want to stock Bud Light or whatever it was because it's woke now," which is ridiculous.
The
was
funniest
Bud Light.
part for me during that whole time was people were buying full 2-4s and just dumping them down the drain. Like, congratulations, you gave them
Wow.
money.
Yeah, basically. But also, like, you just
kept their doors
wasted a
open
bunch
and
of
gave them
beer.
jobs. Yeah,
If it really bothers you that much, scratch out the label and drink it anyway. It's gonna do
Yeah.
the same thing.
or just buy a different beer. Like,
Like,
why?
Please, if I may,
Don't be a
I would
dumbass.
like to suggest a light beer that you might enjoy. There's Beck's. Beck's Light is an excellent beer. There's also Victoria, which is a delicious light Mexican beer. And then Dos Equis, which is also a very light
Dos
Mexican
Equis
beer
is
with
really
a
good.
tiny bit of like a citrus taste, but get the green one, not the brown one.
Oh, okay.
Or you just go straight Canadian, get some Alexander Keith's IPA, and call it a day.
Fuck, I don't drink IPAs. I want to drink
It's a little
beer
bitter.
at dinner.
I'll be honest with you, Alexander Keith's, as far as IPAs go, is not very IPA like, and it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good drinking beer.
You drink an IPA and it's like you drank a steak.
Not for Keith's though. Like for most IPAs, I'll agree, but Keith's is kind of like there's a reason it's the most popular one.
I'm mostly an ale guy.
Really?
Some lagers.
I would have
Yeah.
thought whiskey. Maybe that's just
No. If we're just talking about beer,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
100% whiskey. That's
Yeah.
give me whiskey, man. Bourbon, Scotch, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm 100% a whiskey. I just drinking beer though. Yeah, I'm an ale. I like the lighter beers like Beck's
Wait.
and fucking Victoria is probably my favorite beer of all time though.
Do y'all get steam whistle down there?
Absolutely not.
I don't even know what that is.
No, it's one of the.
I mean,
Toronto-
honestly, it's hard to tell if it's an IPA because those like rotate out 100 at a time. It's like where at least I mean, I haven't gone into the beer store here yet, but I mean the IPAs down there they rotate out like Japanese soda. I mean,
Really?
it's just like
I kind of want to try this Bex. I'm meeting
like
a friend.
Voodoo
actually.
Ranger. You kind of you want to try
I
what?
I was gonna say I kind of want to try this Bex later.
It's good shit. It's really good shit. You should be able to find it just about anywhere.
Yeah, I'll ask. I'm meeting a friend after this actually, so I'm gonna see if they have that. What did you say, Victoria?
Victoria, yep. And then like a good bar beer is Blue Moon.
Oh man, yeah, that I can get behind.
Yep. But if you can get Bex or Victoria, you want that instead. Daseki Green is good too. Good stuff.
Thanks for the rec.
No problem. Put an orange in the Blue Moon. Put a lime in the Daseki.
I've never done that with a Blue Moon. I usually drink it straight. I don't know how the orange would affect the taste.
I don't like Blue Moon. Can I be honest?
No, you can't.
It's almost too light.
From a Coors
I want
Light
to get
drinker.
drunk.
No, it's not. It's not like light beer where it's like what we call moose piss. It's light where like it's got the flavor, but it's just enough to not be good. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like it just doesn't taste good to me. Blue Moon. I don't know.
I get that.
Is it a really hoppy beer? Because I don't like hoppy beers. No, I don't know
it's a wheat ale.
Oh, okay.
And it's got a bit of a citrus taste to it, so you might be confusing it with something else.
Maybe it's the citrus taste. Maybe I just don't like citrus in beer. Maybe that's what it is.
I like citrus in beers, and I like sours as well, but only some. But before we talk more about that, we should probably wrap the show up.
Oh yeah, I never even gave my top three.
What's your top three there, Rob?
So as the tradition, me and Brandon have a very similar top three. Absolute Flash and Deathstroke were also tying for third, but I'm gonna give it to Absolute Flash this week for number three. At number two, I'm actually gonna have Nightwing, and number one is gonna be Absolute Green Arrow. My favorite moment on we were talking about beer for so long, I still haven't decided. I think that still point diagram at the end of the Absolute Flash kind of just got me really excited about the future because that was really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
I didn't while reading it, didn't even really get into it whatsoever. But after you said something and I went in there and I'm like blowing it up and reading shit, I'm like, okay, this could really lead into some stuff. And it makes me wonder how important Wally is to the overall Absolute Universe story.
Yeah.
Potentially pretty big. I'm liking that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that takes us to exit slideshow. There we go. I guess that takes us to our favorite covers.
Mhm.
And this is it with Nightwing, New Titans, Absolute Flash, Absolute Green Arrow, and I thought those lose, but I guess they don't. And Deathstroke the Terminator.
All right. All 5 are really good in their own way, but I'm gonna give this to Nightwing because that's a perfect horror movie poster right there.
Yeah, no, Nightwing would have been my choice, but honestly, I'm going with Absolute Green Arrow. It is also not quite a horror movie, but very much movie poster inspired.
Yeah.
I could just see the text like he's cleaning up the streets, so you don't have to. Or something.
Don't fail this city.
Yeah. Criminals,
So-
your time is up.
I like. I had a hard time deciding between Nightwing and Absolute Green Arrow. They are absolutely the best
Yeah.
covers this week, hands down. However, and this is dumb, but I'm gonna give it to Absolute Green Arrow just because I can't look at that cover and think how cool it is and relevant it is to the story that's inside of it. But then also in my head, see DC going, what if Skeletor was the Green Arrow? And I fucking love it. It's cool. Dumb and unrelated to the book itself, but
Fair enough.
that is a badass.
I imagine you've got He-Man on the brain.
I do have you.
Yeah. The one thing that kind of drew me away from this cover, because it is iconically good looking, is how he's holding the bow with his right hand. I can't figure that out. It just looks awkward.
Mm.
It doesn't look right at all. And that's the one thing that didn't put it over the edge for me, that made Nightwing stand out more.
Now that you point it out, I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Yeah, it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense to me.
Damn it. Thanks, Rob.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to do that to you, but
I gotta look at it more closely, make it make sense. There's something I'm not seeing.
The perspective, the angle, of the bow and arrow itself is off.
yeah, and like
compared to the
the
rest of the heads.
there's a pivot in like the crux of the bow as well.
It should be like rotated like 70 degrees.
Like for some reason, it looks like there's a gear turn.
Mm.
Like
I mean, if that's the
like,
case, then maybe
right
it's a
in the middle.
crossbow.
I mean, it's a really
I
weird
would-
crossbow if
that's
he's
not what a
holding it that
crossbow would
way.
look
Yeah, and he's still holding it from the actual string.
Yeah, it's that's bad. That,
Well,
yeah, that should
actually,
be
now that I'm
like
looking at some of the
70%.
interior pages, I'm like, maybe it is a kind of crossbow or something like that. Because even in that shot where he, shows up after killing Reese Tyler or whatever his name is, the way he's holding the bow is very much like on the cover. He's not holding it, with the grip. He's holding it with the sort of wheel on top.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I just noticed that. I was like, well, actually, maybe it's a little different.
Okay, Green Skeletor's back.
Ah, there you go. Saved it.
Thanks, Brandon.
Oh,
All right, there
shit.
with all of the Skeletor and beer aside,
Oh.
it is time for us to wrap up the show. So
Wait,
that is it.
Sorry, one last thing that I never even realized. I don't know if you guys
Breaking
realize
news.
this either. The
Breaking
bow
news.
is made of his 2 swords.
Oh yeah, no, they.
Oh
split
yeah,
them
yeah,
apart
that
initially.
because he split them
Yeah.
apart and
I
That's
didn't
probably
see
why
that.
he's not.
I didn't
grabbing
realize
it like
that.
that. Yeah.
So okay, that makes more sense. He's probably holding them together.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Oh shit. Okay.
Unlike the tip that holds that wheel that holds the 2 sword tips together, like you probably
Yeah.
can't really grab that like you would a
No.
conventional bow. So
Okay. Shit. I don't know how I didn't realize that before, but okay. Sorry, everybody.
so
he's
he
back.
made a compound bow out of some
swords.
big ass fucking
Yeah.
knives that you fire sideways. And wow, that's cool.
It's like making an axe out of a bat symbol. That's crazy.
I know. Imagine doing
Yeah,
that.
but it doesn't go flat on his chest. Jesus Christ.
boy.
Not even close to the same thing.
Oh boy.
Fucking Batman Looney Tunes shit. Don't even get me started.
Let's not do that rant again.
Oh God. Yeah, let's not. All right. Well, again, that is it, everybody. That's the show. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We're getting out of here, so you'll have to as well. Come back next time, though. Be careful out there. And remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.
Peace.